Hi everyone, it's Allen with Earthglow. Welcome back to another new video. In today's video, we are going to be packing some orders. I would like to thank Makesy for sponsoring this video. If you haven't checked out Makesy, they are the world's largest supplier for elevated and innovative candle making supplies. I will have their website linked below, as well as a coupon code. You guys know I talk about wood wicks all the time. Those are what started my whole candle line, and I still use them today. And you all know that Makesy is where I get them and the only place that I get them. And I also use a lot of their fragrance oils as well. Some of the candles that we're packing up today do utilize some of Makesy's fragrance oils. But anyways, I'd like to thank Makesy for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back into it. So these boxes there are four different sizes. So you're seeing me just kind of prepare them with the tape here. We've got 6 by 6 by 6 or 6 cubed, 8 cubed, 10 cubed, and 12 cubed. Those are the size boxes that I stock for my business. And what I will generally do if I have a lot of orders is just kind of put a bunch of them together, and then I'll just put whatever stickers I want. I kind of change these up. I do design all of them myself. And if you guys want a video on how I come up with sticker designs and where I get some of the elements that I use, just leave a comment below. The next thing I like to do is write out a little card to each person who orders. And to me, this is just something that I enjoy. I definitely don't think it's necessary. Even if you just write thank you for your order, that means so much. At least for me personally, when I order something, it makes such a big difference. And it's something that companies like Amazon and first of all, I love Amazon and some of these big companies, but it's something that they can't do at all. And us as small businesses, we are able to put those touches on our orders, and it just makes such an experience for your customers. But like I said, it's definitely not required. I just like to do it. And so I will usually get those written out. I go through all the packing slips online on my computer, and I will figure out each customer's name, as well as I'll usually look at if they've ordered in the past and how many times they've ordered, kind of what they order. And that kind of helps me to write a little note to each one. And then I will also, after I do this, print off all my packing slips, usually before I print off any labels. And that is because I still, to this day, cannot tell you for each type of candle what the exact weight is going to be. So for example, like this order, they just have one of our large artisan collection candles. And so for this order, I would already know, yep, it's in a 6 cubed box. It's going to be, these candles are 3 pounds once they're in the boxes. So definitely pretty heavy. But for a lot of orders, I couldn't tell that if they have some different candles from different collections. So I usually just print the packing slips, and then I'll write on the outside of the box in pen just the customer's first name as well as the weight of the box. And then I'll use that information to go back in after I've got the order packed and I've got it weighed to print off the shipping labels. And I did get a new thermal printer. I'm going to be doing a video on this one soon in the future, but that has really helped my process for printing the shipping labels. Now, to pack my orders, I use a combination of different products. What you're seeing here is biodegradable packing peanuts. They're primarily made from cornstarch, and they dissolve in water in seconds. And I get these from Uline, but you can get them from a lot of different places. I just like them for the eco reasons. I refuse to buy styrofoam packing peanuts because it's just so bad for the environment. And I'm also just putting in a business card as well as a candle care card. And I just get those from Vistaprint. I actually design them myself. And if you guys want a video on that process, just let me know. And then I'm just adding on a little bit of this crinkle paper, which I also get from Uline. And then at this point, I would close up the box. Now, in this case, I already know that this box weighs 3 pounds, and that is just based on the candle that is in there and the size box. But a lot of times I don't know, and then I always do that shake test. In this case as well, I have the packing slip here, and this customer has ordered a singing bowl candle. And so I know right off the bat it's going to be 3 pounds in this box. But it's when they have the combinations of different things that I am still working on figuring it out. Let me know if you guys utilize Shopify's automatic feature. I know they do have some of that stuff built in as well to their system. I personally just don't know how to use it. I calculate shipping every time. And I like to pre-package my vessels. So I don't do this for farmers markets though, because I have found sometimes if they're exposed to like summer heat, that they can start getting kind of melty. And I would hate for a customer to get a vessel that is already, that just looks all kind of gross and melted. So but when I have these in the comfort of my own home, I'm able to pre-package them. And then I do tend to look at whatever the customer is ordering, and then I try to add a sample that is similar to the scent that they have. So for example, this customer had Singing Bowl, which utilizes Egyptian Amber by Candle Science. It's a very kind of earthy but also ambery scent. And so for that, I added a Tibet melt sample just because that was what I had on hand, but also because it was the closest thing that was similar to this customer's candle. And so you kind of try to choose something that you have in stock. By the way, I've made that mistake so many times in the past. I will put a sample in their box that I don't actually have in stock, and then that customer asks me about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I had that in stock a few months ago, and in the back of my head, I'm like, now I'm out of the oil. So that's a big mistake on my part, because, you know, whatever you're offering as samples, you want to make sure you have a final product available of that. And definitely something that if it's out of stock, you get it back in soon, because a lot of times those customers, okay. A lot of times those customers will come back and try to purchase that scent, especially like I said, if you go the extra mile and choose something that is similar to what they already have. And then I do include a copy of their packing slip in every order, and I try to just kind of tuck it down the side. Sometimes it is a little bit challenging to get down there because with the packing peanuts, I do sort of jam those down as well, just because I want to make sure that there is as little motion as possible. Now, this customer ordered Hummingbird, which is a floral. It's like a honeysuckle and jasmine. So I included the closest thing I had in that scent family, which was our Paris candle. And so I really hope that they enjoy this one. And then I do use the mini clamshells for the melt samples. I get mine from Midwest Fragrance Supply. I'm sure there's other places you can get those as well. But that is what I like to do. And then these holographic stickers, I just get the design printed from Sticker Mule. They are kind of pricey, but every once in a while they'll run a sale, and their quality is so good. Their whole process is super easy, and I just really like it in general. Now, for the concrete candles, I'm going to be doing another video showing you guys how I pack those, because those candles definitely are more challenging to pack. And so these ones, first of all, let me just say, when I'm packaging candles that are not tins, I package them box within a box. And I use a variety of different boxes depending on the candle size to do that with. But I have significantly decreased damage rates by doing this. And I know it's more expensive to buy boxes. Now, the ones that I'm using on the black iridescent Evermore cylinders, I did go ahead and purchase from 1617, and they just came with the candles, so I'm just recycling them. But they're really nice, sturdy boxes. But I have found that Uline has some as well that I've purchased and had really good luck with. They're not nearly as sturdy, but I will show you guys in my in a future video when I'm packing concrete candles, how I safely package those while still using 100% biodegradable and recycled packaging, biodegradable or paper. I definitely try to stay away from things like bubble wrap and plastic as much as possible. Now, when I do ship crystal orders, I still do use bubble wrap just because I have not found a better way to safely pack it. So, and Wade Thomas has done a video on this one as well. You know, we definitely try as business owners to do everything we can to, a lot of us do, to be eco-friendly, but there are certain limits for safety as well. So if you are using bubble wrap and you're finding that that's working really well, keep doing it. You know, there's a lot of other things that you're already doing, I'm sure, that help environmentally, and we can always continue improving our processes. So I think this is my last 6x6 order. I find that these 6x6 boxes are really useful for a lot of candles that I ship out. Like if you use the Evermore cylinders that 1617 used to have, and also if you use the black matte, Cali jars. They can also be really useful. Now, this particular order, I believe this one has 2 of the black iridescent Evermore sized candles, and I definitely don't have the best box to put these in. I should have a little bit of a smaller box, but since I don't, I am using a 10 by 10, and they ordered a Raise That Shit candle, which I absolutely love that scent. It's White Sage and Lavender by Candle Science, as well as a High Tide. And so this is definitely not the best box, and I'm kind of playing around in this video with figuring out how to get it in there as well as I can. And you know what? We just kind of do the best with what we have. These are the sizes that I stock right now, and I may in the future get more, but at this point, if I have to pay a little bit more to keep the package safe, I'm happy to do that. Because I don't want to stock a million different sizes, and I just have a lot of different candle sizes that I offer between these and the concrete and the tins and everything. So if at all possible, I find that it really helps to kind of jam these packing peanuts down the side of the box so that you can create a barrier. If you're not able to do that and you're just able to do box within a box, even that is going to work much better than just, wrapping the candle in a box, if that makes sense, in a single box. And this customer, I am given a Tibet sample. I will alternate as well. I don't always include wax melt samples. Sometimes I will have other types of things. When I did a lot of like cold processed soaps, I would cut little pieces of the soap to include as samples. And then sometimes if I don't have my single cavity clamshell wax melts, I will include a full-size wax melt, which, is definitely much more than you need to include, but it just really depends on what I have on hand. I will also go back in the customer's file and kind of look at what that customer has ordered in the past as well. And because sometimes if they order just one candle, you may not know what exactly to include. Like, say, for example, I have a couple different wax melt samples, and this customer has just ordered one candle, or maybe they order 2 candles that are very sort of different, and you aren't really sure, what to include for a sample. Well, I guess you could look at it as you have more options, but also sometimes looking at your order history and seeing what they've ordered in the past can definitely be helpful with figuring out what they might like to try out in the future. Now, for taping these boxes closed, I do use regular tape. I have definitely looked into paper tape in the past. It's very expensive from what I've found, and right now, I do already do a lot by just buying the biodegradable packing peanuts, which are like 4 to 5 times the cost of regular styrofoam. But to me, they're more important, in terms of using non-styrofoam than the packing tape. But I'm definitely looking into paper packing tape for the future. I also would like to get one of those chutes that you can drop down, and then it kind of puts the packing peanuts directly into the order. If any of you guys have those, let me know. But I've been looking into it. I haven't found one that I think would work for my setup right now. I actually just use a table that I converted in my basement. It was just like a dining table, and I just put a tablecloth over it. This is actually one of the same ones I use for the farmer's market. or it's like the same type. I'll leave a link below if you guys would like to get. It's like a polyester. It's very durable. They do kind of wrinkle easily, but I find that people just don't really care that much, and it doesn't, when there's products all over it, it doesn't look bad. You're kind of seeing the wrinkles up close in this video, but it's just for packing purposes. So anyways, the products that you see behind me as well, those are the crinkle paper. And I know there actually are machines where you are able to take boxes that you get from different orders and convert those boxes into crinkle paper. However, those machines are pretty expensive and they take up a lot of space. So at this point, I just haven't done that personally, but it's definitely something that I'm also looking into in the future. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but you can buy all different types and they will just take the material that you have, the box material, and just convert it right into crinkle paper, different types of honeycomb paper. So this is another example where the customer has ordered actually a lot of different candles. I think this particular customer has 4 candles. And so I was playing around with the 10 by 10 box with these, and kind of sometimes you have to almost put it together at first and take it apart several times. These particular candles I was packing up after it was one of my first shipments after they launched, and this was just a couple weeks ago. So I'm still getting used to the size and figuring out how to best fit these into the boxes that I have on hand. And because I only have a total of, I think, 280 of these vessels, I don't plan on special ordering boxes or getting special size boxes just for these vessels. But if 1617 were to still be in business and I still was able to get these vessels, I definitely would be looking into that, just because, it's not really practical. It's a lot of extra packing peanuts that I'm using, and it's just not the best box size. There's a lot of wasted space. You want some space around the sides, right? But not the amount that I have. So I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm like, I don't know. Should I put them... I think I could fit them all on the bottom layer, but what I ended up deciding to do was I just put a ton of packing peanuts at first down, and then I end up stacking them on the top here. And then I had just enough room at the top to fit more packing peanuts as well. So this, I think, is what I ended up going with. But I will have their packing slip off to the side, and then I will tuck that in, and then I'll leave my personalized note for the top of the order. I want that to be the first thing my customer sees, and then I leave a little branding statement on the top as well. You guys probably saw that care card with the serotonin note. It's just a little bit of special branding for my business, and I would encourage you to think about whatever that is for your business and come up with a special logo or a special saying or something. Tell your customer what that candle means to you and why it's important to them, what it's going to do to change their life or to just add something special to their everyday. These packing peanuts, I will say, are nicer to use than styrofoam, but sometimes you can see a wonky one gets in there, and I usually pull those out if I catch them. But they're nicer because they don't stick to everything around them. If you guys are familiar with the styrofoam packing peanuts, they will stick to pretty much everything you put them on. And these cornstarch ones, they still get all over if you don't have like a chute, but they don't stick to stuff. I've got my hospital shirt on here too, if you guys can see that. So I will just place that on the top, and then I usually put my little sticker right over it, and I will get different stickers. So as Sticker Mule has different types of special promotions and sales, I will get different designs, and you're able to design them yourself. I would highly encourage signing up for their email marketing, and I don't encourage that a lot, but they have really good sales, and sometimes it'll be on, like, for example, converting an image into a higher quality vector image, and those are going to print off so much better on things like stickers. So just something to keep in mind, because stuff like this is really important for your business so that your customers can have something that they put on their wall, on their water bottle, that has your branding on it and that looks really cool and special. Customers just love that kind of stuff. I love getting that kind of stuff, especially when it's rainbow and holographic, and oftentimes Sticker Mule offers that. So I do tape on both sides of the box. Sometimes this type of stuff happens where it pulls off like that and you have to redo it. I use a tape gun that I got from Uline. I will have it linked below. You can purchase it on Amazon. It is a little pricier than some tape guns, but I find this one is the most durable and easy to use of any that I've had. And I've definitely tried several in the past, even several like best-selling ones that I've just had trouble with. One thing to mention as well, when I am using a box, so this is an 8x8 box, and I am using a little bit of a larger size because this particular customer did have 3 wax melts or 6 cavity clamshells as well as this candle. And so I want the candle to sit up high enough in the box so that it doesn't look like it's all the way at the bottom, if that makes sense, because the box is a little too big for the product. But I'm just putting a little more packing peanuts, or I put a little more at the base. Another thing that I think is important to include in your package is some sort of an email where your customers are able to get a hold of you in case something comes to them damaged or something that they're not happy with. We do, since day one, guarantee our products at Earthglow, and 100% satisfaction guarantee is something that if you're at all able to do, I would recommend it. Let me say this, I've had the number of people we've had more than, we had close to 4,000 when we were doing PayPal invoicing, plus about 2,500 orders on Shopify. So I've shipped out more than 6,500 orders in my 5.5 years in business. And out of that, the number of customers that have taken me up on a product satisfaction guarantee because they weren't happy with something that they received is less than a number that I could count on one hand. What that guarantee is doing for your customer is making sure, obviously, that they're 100% satisfied. And if they're not, you're able to set what those terms are to make things right. And you don't have to articulate like in writing exactly what that is. It can be on a case-by-case basis as well with your customers. And that is what I do. So for example, if I have a customer that, let's say this actually happened a couple years ago. I had a customer that was in Arizona, and they actually ordered a box of candles from me. There were like tons of candles in there, like close to 10. And it came, unfortunately, damaged to where not damaged, but they were leaking because of the weather, and they had melted and they just looked horrible. And so in that case, what I ended up doing was telling the customer that I'd like to wait a couple of weeks. This was like the resolution after we kind of talked through things, and I apologized and all that. But I asked her if it would be okay with her if we waited a couple of weeks just until the weather, because their forecast in Phoenix, where she was so hot for several weeks in a row. And so I asked her if it would be all right if we waited until things got just a little bit cooler in about 2 weeks, I think it was, or 10 days or something, and shipped out the order then. And so I shipped out the full order that she had purchased. And I think even the candles that were okay, I just replaced the whole thing. And then I even included a couple extra things. I think it was like a pair of wick trimmers or something, just to make things right because of the inconvenience. That worked out really well. And there have been some other cases, 1 or 2 other ones, where a customer ordered a product from me and they got it in and they didn't like the scent of it, or it wasn't what they thought they were ordering, whether it was the way I described it not being accurate for them or whatever. So in those cases, when it's a repeat customer, I think in both of these cases, it was a customer who ordered from me, I want to say like at least once or twice a month. And what I offered to do was just to let them keep the product or gift it to someone. And then I offered on their next shipment to include, a different scent of their choice of that same product because they liked the formula. I think this was a body butter, but they just didn't like the scent. And so that worked out really well too. And I find with customers, you guys probably already know this or it goes without saying, but communication, quick and prompt and concise, and always being on the up and up with things. You want to keep the vibe high. That is so important. That is like one of the most important things with small businesses and with having happy customers overall, in my opinion. So what I have in the black boxes, if you saw the one that I wrapped, if you didn't see the one that I wrapped just a little bit ago, those are the room and linen sprays. And I prefer to keep those in boxes as well. And the black boxes are 4x4x6. So the width and length is going to be 4 inches by 4 inches. And the top is going to be, the height is going to be 6 inches. And those I get from Uline. They are super helpful. They're about, I want to say like 43 cents each or something. So not too bad, but definitely really useful for packing sprays as well as concrete candles. I am able to pack in those as well, and I'll show you guys how exactly I do that in an upcoming video safely and without using plastic. And then I also do put our Wanderlust candles in those too. And with something simple like a black or a white, or even the cardstock ones, you are able to customize things with your labels and make differentiation between your product lines. And I just find that this particular size works really well for me because it's so versatile. Now, in terms of actual shipping carriers, I do ship most of my packages via USPS, and that is going to be their new Ground Advantage. And that generally gets things to people the quickest, but it also offers a pretty good price point. And when I say the quickest, I mean quicker than if you use some of their really affordable options. Like, I'll put the name up on the screen of the option I'm thinking of. And I have used this occasionally, but I do find that it takes a little bit longer. And the reasoning for that is because it has to be dropped off from UPS to USPS. And so there's like an extra day in there, and USPS does the final delivery. Anyways, I find that just using the Ground Advantage works really well. And there are certain times where I will use other options. If you have a big box that's really heavy, that generally is going to cost you a lot more to ship and usually be something that used to go by UPS. But now with USPS's Ground Advantage, it actually oftentimes beats out what UPS used to offer it for. So that's what I use, and I love supporting our postal workers as well, but I will ship UPS occasionally too. And for orders on Fair, I think they usually offer the best prices with FedEx. So I've had experience shipping with all three of those carriers. And I would say overall, the damage rates are pretty similar with UPS and USPS. Earthglow has less than a 1% damage rate, which I'm pretty proud of. And that is something that has taken definitely the first year to kind of get used to. I do put fragile stickers on the orders as well. I don't really know that that helps with anything. I've had people say that sometimes it makes things worse because the postal workers are more likely to throw your order, but I don't necessarily find that that seems to be true, but I do put a fragile sticker on every single order as well. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't think I've shown too much of my packing in the past. I do tend to ship, I would say, almost every day. I don't have this many orders every day. This is after a weekend, but I definitely do tend to ship as long as it's not in the summer. In the summer months with candles, like a lot of people, I tend to ship Monday through Wednesday. If it's really close, I will also ship on a Thursday. But yeah, if you guys would like to see more videos, kind of day in the life, packing orders, just kind of like, I'm up to all sorts of different things in a given day. Like making products is certainly one of them, but then there's photography, there's, writing descriptions, there's so many different things that we do as business owners on a daily basis pretty much, or those of us that launch a lot of new products do. And then lots of future projects that I'm working on as well. So if you guys would like to see more kind of that behind the scenes, day in the life type content, just leave me a comment requesting it, and I'll be happy to film more of that in the future. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much to Makesy for sponsoring this video. And I'll also have a 10% off coupon code that you can enter at checkout. I'm sending all of you peace, love, and light. And I'm wishing all of you happy candle making. I would like to take the time to thank my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out goes to Wendy, Nicole Rott, Nancy with All About Me Beauty Bar, Merle, Brad with Neon City Scents, Michelle, Paula, Zahara with Crystalline Candle Co., Julie with Belux Candle Co., Jennifer with Bea Essentials, Selena with Banbury Street Creations, Sue, Nick, Bruce, Flavia, Jennifer with Bittersweet Candle Co., Danielle, Anitra with Ninth and Maxwell, Matthew, Jindy, Lisa, Elizabeth, Carol, Cheryl with Soap Spice Cheryl, Maya, Losa, Luzdari, Daichi, John with Past Sense Candles, Angela, Amber, Bluegrass Bath and Candle Co., Marketer with The Beat Institute, Allie, Carla, Todd with Cold Creek Candle Co., Krista, SS, Karen with River Birch Soaps, Kina with Kijoli, Angela, Amanda, Denise with Grumblegeist Candle Co., She's More, Cindy, Kim, Teresa, Frida, Shiromi, J Creative P, Colette, Nicole, Stella, Leanne, Martha, Angela, Jamie, Chadwick, Z, Mabel, Arev, Bobby, Jamie, Amy with Candle Emporium, Stephanie, Honey, Terry, Maria, Genevieve, Gracie, Yolanda, Tonya, Susan, Irene, Rolanda with Mason Marzette, Megan, Melissa, Ursulette with Ursulette's Beauty Secrets, Kelly, TCM with Ava Bryceco, Lois, Tia, Victoria with The Sacred Prayer, Valerie, Stacy with Firewick with Me, Belinda, Rhonda, Smadar, Duchess Luxury Creations, Juliet, Carla, Crystal with Indigo Scents Candle Co., Anika, Kim with Kimberly's Candle Co., Kim, Angelic, Tia, Chris, Miss S, Shakira, Tiffany, Kim, BN, Lizette, Chandra, Pat, Chickadee Company, Tara, Indigo, SJ, Gina, Emily, Sandra, Heidi, Sunday, Michelle, Lisa, Angela, Kelly, Angela, Natalie with Walters Wicks, Sherry, Cynthia, Denise, Sonia, Natasha, Aziza's Closet, Edward, Shambliss Candles and Soaps, Sabina, Raphael with Alondra's Candle Co., Desi, Kim, Abby Lane Candle Co., Christina, Tommy with Rose and Crown Soap, Tara, Joy, Katie, Diane, Kelly, Judith, Sherry, Diane, Courtney with 17 December's Candle Co., Stacy, Yvette, Teresa with All About Serenity, Janetta, Monica, Nick, Tim, Diane with Todafor, Anne with Sweet Annie's Natural Skincare, Jennifer with Honey's House Handcrafted, Michelle, Maria, Sarah, Alex, Roslyn with Hers and Hers Candle Co., Susan, Shaylee, Iya, Christopher, Louvre, Brianna with Be Home Dispensary, Megan, Victoria, Ash, Nicole, Virginia, Kathy, Melania, Susie, Erin, Regina with Adobe Rose Botanicals, Scott, Dana with MJ's Candle Creations, Leah, Stacy, Donna, Jennifer with The Clean Theory Candle Co., Maria, Mary, Zoe, Amber, Brandy, Peppa, Phil, Georgiana with Tropic Candle, and Gazelle with Bozypha. Your support is deeply appreciated.